Hi, it's Thanksgiving time again in Canada anyway. Brad Ward here from Ward's Auctions in Edmonton, Alberta. Annual Thanksgiving Day sale. It's been umpteen years. I think we probably said umpteen last year because we don't really know how many years it's been, but it's been quite a few. And this year is no different. We got a fantastic looking sale. Weather's going to hold. I can't talk about everything that's in the sale because there is just so much. And you're going to see as we walk around, you're going to see in the catalog, you're going to see in the pictures on the website. But here's something that you can, even the table that this is sitting on just oozes quality and a time of elegance. And this travel case, perfect example of that. And inside here it holds two top hats. You can just imagine how elegant the gentleman was. Gorgeous, gorgeous hats, excellent condition, top quality. Two different manufacturers. I think one's England, one might be American. But take a look at that and you can just imagine him packing his hats to go to New York, to go to Fifth Avenue, to go to London, to do all the things that they did back in those days. This estate has actually been sealed up for some 30 years. Downtown apartment in Edmonton. And some 30 years it's been sitting there just untouched. There's a lot of things in this sale from that situation, and it really was like walking into a time capsule. So lots of neat stuff in the sale, again, including this table set. We'll talk about that later, perhaps, and there is even the book to go along with it from the original catalog. The sale, of course, is Thanksgiving Monday. Those of you that are down in the US looking at this, our Thanksgiving is different than yours. So ours is on October 12th. It's on the holiday Monday. Doors will open at 9 o'clock. Sale starts at 10 o'clock. The viewing is on the Friday, October 9th from 4 o'clock till 8 o'clock. 11802 145th Street, Edmonton, Alberta. The website is wardsauctions.com. The office phone number 780-451-4549. There's online bidding, so when you go to the website you can learn all about that, etc. So we're going to show you around the room and show you all the kind of wonderful things that there is to have in the sale. As mentioned earlier, we can't talk about everything that's in the sale because a sale like this has 500, well, not quite 500 lots, but call it 500 lots, and everything's wonderful. It's just a great sale. Look at the height of this carved quartzite piece, and it's signed on the bottom, Mark P. You'll look on the catalog, look on the website, there's images of everything, and of course there's virtually everything, and there's of course your descriptions, your catalog descriptions. Some nice artwork, Canadian pieces, Meredith Evans and so on. Again, we can't talk about it all. This one here is attributed to John Hamilton Mortimer. Great looking, clearly an antique piece here. Quarter cut oak, curved glass Canadian China cabinet. You can't see the ball and claws, but they're that big. Look at the size of these Beswick pieces in here. Good substantial pieces. I'm not sure the mold numbers are offhand. Chest on chest cabinet here. Look at this monster. Two piece, obviously, maybe even three. I think two pieces. Original finish, original hardware. Lots of patina. This is quarter cut oak, sort of a wavy front. Carved panels, leaded glass lamps here, more carved panels back there. This is a carved soapstone. There's some really nice soapstones in the sale, different artists and so on. Some modern furniture. There's some right here, postage stuff in front of me. And quality stuff, the stuff you would get at McKellarens. Not that I want to do an advertisement for McKellarens, but anybody who knows them knows that you're only going there to get quality. So there is some armchairs from them, some recliners from them. Terrific. Speaking of the time capsule, if you will, you have this collection right here. So if you see this oil painting of this lady that would have been done back, in the 60s or 70s or something, and here's her book. Reminiscences in Poetry by Phyllis Adele Falkenberg. This is the estate lady, and this is her book of poetry that is available to buy online. There's one here. Here's the photograph that we found in the bedroom that was used as the front cover of the book. I'm going to dwell a little bit because this is just fantastic. Inside here, you have a whole bunch of illustrations and copies of artwork. Here's the originals to those little paintings to go along with the poetry book. I think we have it set up as two lots, but I think hopefully somebody will buy both lots. There's also a book down here that has some poetry in it, but mostly this is filled with fan letters sent to this lady from her fans of her poetry. And then also you will see, here's the dress that she was wearing in the picture. Here's the fan that she's holding in her hand. And this again was all kind of out of the time capsule. It's just fantastic. It tells such a story that is just mind-boggling. And there it's been sitting for all this time. A whole other situation, another estate that's in the sale. I'm not sure if it's mentioned in the catalog. Hopefully it is. But these crocodile suitcases were the people that we were dealing with. Their grandmother, on safari back in probably the 20s or so, shot the crocodile that these are made out of. One of them's a little bit rough, obviously got some water damage here. I thought crocodiles were waterproof, but apparently not. Little damage on that one. And then they had it made into luggage by, you can see the tag here, Jazz Turner and Company, Ipswich. It just says makers, they're just makers. Like, what a cool story that is. The grandmother shot the animal. Very cool. Anyhow, I digress, we can't talk about everything. Wonderful little quarter cut oak drop front there. Again, this is part of that newer stuff. There's a polar bear rug down here. It's going to be 6 feet long anyhow, so if you haven't seen that. There's mid-century modern in the sale in the form of teak. Here's Danish teak here, and there's tile inlaid tops. They're off camera, they're behind these chairs here. You'll see the pictures of them. You probably will see a little picture of the signature that's for the artist. There's a Murad Baton painting back here. Again, wonderful piece. I don't want to talk about everything because there's just too much. Look at the size of this desk organizer. I don't want to point this one out to you because I want to buy it myself. So this one, don't look at it. You probably won't be able to see a decent picture on the video of this, but this is a copy, a very well done copy of Rubens' Feast of Herod. So you can see that she's got Herod's, or she's got the head on here and serving it over here. It's a very nice likeness. So it's got some condition issues, and again, that's mentioned in the catalog, but still very, very cool. I'm not sure how it happened. It might have been on purpose. It might have been a bit of a mistake, but there's a lot of sterling in the sale. I hope that there are collectors for sterling, and you'll see that these chargers in here, you would normally see a bunch of silver plate. Everything in here is sterling. These chargers and everything in this cabinet is sterling. The cabinet itself, along with this table that's in front of us, or in front of me, is a Gibbard in the Canadian, I think it's the Canadian Legacy Collection. And like brand new condition. This has got 2 leaves in it. You can see how big it is. There's actually another leaf as well. So it can go into a monster. And there's a nice center support leg so that when you do have it in there, and wide, it's still well supported. 2 or 3 sets of Gerandals. Here's the set on here. There was the serving pieces for this china back there. This is approximately half of the place settings. It's Wedgwood, and it comes in 2 different patterns, and they complement each other. As you can see, this one's got sort of the woven piece in it, and this one doesn't. And they're designed to go together. So the colonnade, if that's pronounced properly, and Eulander is the 2 patterns, and they go together. You're looking at 16 place settings with, I think, a cup missing, or maybe there's only 12 cups and saucers or something, but for the most part, your place settings, there's 16 of them, so very substantial collection. Some more artwork over here. Again, I shouldn't talk about everything. We'll have an hour-long video. Mid-century modern down here. These ones are good, genuine, mid-century, mid-century modern pieces. These chairs, this lamp, came out of that same time capsule apartment, if you will. See the Tantalus here, more Gerandals with a vase, all complementing each other. These are brand spanking new, but in a very retro kind of a style. So not only do we have retro, but we have some new stuff that's made to look like retro. Here's the other half of that set of place settings, the Wedgwood. Take a look at the Empire suite. I don't want to call it a suite per se because it's not actually matching. It was being used as a suite, but wonderful big sideboard, Empire style, china cabinet, Empire style, round dining table, Empire. Terrific stuff. Some nice watercolors again. Have a look at the website, or some paintings. 2 etagères. One's a corner, and one is a flat to the wall. And we've had this conversation before, although it's a one-sided conversation. I'm doing all the talking here. Where we've had stuff come in from 2 places that belong together. Some months ago, we had 2 dressers, highboy and a mirror dresser, that were from 2 different houses that were together. They matched. They had to have been out of the same house at one time. These 2 match each other. The exact same inlay, pedestals or pillars, everything's the same. One's a corner piece, one's a flat to the wall, two different houses. You know, what are the chances? Crystal lamp here. These recliners, maybe we'll get to the other side. I think what I'd like to do is sort of deviate from our usual path, because I want you to see this Black Forest carving here. I'm 12 feet tall, and this is taller than me, roughly. You can see how big it is, and it's all hand carved. Two bears, one, you know, both standing, little mirror there, post. I mean, it is just as cool as it could possibly get, and all hand done. It's in two pieces, obviously. You know, I shouldn't say obviously, but it is not uncommon. But I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. These, the recliners I mentioned, let's make sure I don't have anything behind me. And these are excellent quality. You know, when you're buying something from, again, stores like McKellarens, you're paying dear for it, but you are getting quality. People say, oh, they don't make furniture like they used to. The reality is they do. There's only a few people that will buy it. And so that's the reality there, because you have to dig deep into your pockets. And nowadays, you know, it's hard. It's hard. Money's not easy to come by. Again, you probably can't get a good representation of this on the video, but 234 Alpha is the lot number. It's called the Doctor, and you can see the family there, and the doctor and the sick child. It's a bit dark, but interesting. Nice, clean drop front desk, ready to go home and enjoy. These are more of your new pieces. These are brand new and excellent quality. More soapstones. Interesting flat to the wall drop leaf. There's only one leaf that drops down, so it's a flat to the wall the rest of the time. Kind of neat. Only a couple of carpets this time, but that's fine. Next time we'll have a whole bunch of them. Little secretaire here. There's 4 or 5 sets of sterling flatware in this sale. This one is Tudor Scroll Burks. I think it's Tudor Scroll. There's another one here. There's 2 or 3 inside this cabinet, and other sterling. Those little coasters are sterling. The little toast rack there, miniature toast rack thing, is sterling. There's another desk set up top here. Again, you could talk about everything. There's statuary stands. There was a couple we passed over on the other side we didn't even talk about. Here's one here that's probably an alabaster. There's ones up front there. They're not antique, but they're very effective. This is a baby grand piano, for lack of a better term. There's probably an exact size. Mason and Riche Duo Art. Admittedly, once upon a time it was a player piano. Now it isn't. It's more likely a piece of furniture, a centerpiece, if you have a big enough place to put a few things on and to look at, to make it look like you know what you're doing. This piano is going to be in the way for right now. Let me see if I can be graceful and not screw up on camera. There we go. Inside the cabinet here, there's Roseville, there's Moorcroft, there's Wedgwood. These, again, candlesticks down here are sterling. More soapstone. This is Royal Ducks. Cool vintage battery-operated robot there. There's a French carriage clock in travel case down there. It just goes on and on. This is an original Clinton Hobart painting of Goofy, and he's a licensed Disney artist. You can look him up, and he's very well represented. We're back where we started. Look at the size of these food dogs. I think they're about 21 inches high and 21 inches long. They're all hand-done solid brass. Very impressive pieces. The table and chair set, if you recall, we mentioned it at the very beginning. There's also a console table over on the side here. There's a catalog. We should probably auction this separately, because whoever gets the table and chairs can bid against the people that get the console. This is the original catalog, and this was from stores in places like Madison Avenue and Saks and all that sort of stuff. Very, very cool. And at the time, I'm sure you had to be the cream of the crop financially to buy something like this. Again, more Gerendals here. Wonderful rocker. Enamel clock. I actually missed a whole French clock somewhere over there, I think. Here's another enamel clock. Here's a tobacco set. Here's a carved bust. Over here we've got button tufted upholstery. I mentioned the hats at the very beginning we had, but there's other top hats over in that corner over there. Looks like we're going to get you a peek of them. And some really neat quality stuff. There's a great vanity over there. These again are also new. These are McKellarens pieces, and I believe they were in the neighborhood of $1,000 each when these were bought. And there's 6 of these, and they're all armchairs, so you get all 6 of those. A couple of leaded panels over there. Soapstone. This coffee grinder, I think, has been, let's just say, modified, for lack of a better term. We already talked about sterling in the other cabinet. Those that are sort of regulars to the video assume that we're going to have sterling in this cabinet, and we do. We just happen to end up with so much of it this time. Wonderful little open salts there, mint juleps, Burke's ring box. The fish set is sterling. The candlesticks are sterling. The Gorham candle holders there, sterling. The list goes on and on. The flasks are not, so not everything in there is sterling, but the flasks are not, but the lion's share of what's in there is. We have jewelry. We've got coins. Have a good look at the coins on the website. I won't talk about those, but there is some there. There's also some gold stuff. Some paperweights down here. This is a great collection of paperweights. They sort of came in when I wasn't paying attention, so I didn't see them until they were on display in here. But there's some really fun stuff. Have a look again at the catalog. Wardsauctions.com has all that. There's a gold Rolex here. I think there's an appraisal of $30,000 or something like that. There's gold coins in sovereigns, etc. This is a gold and amethyst. This is 18 karat gold, I believe. It'll say on the tag 18 karat on this bracelet. Very impressive piece of jewelry. Large diamond here in the solitaire. Inside the cabinet again, heavy chains, pearls, bracelets, some snuff bottles. There's an amethyst that probably goes very well with the amethyst ring over there in the necklace here. Have a look at the site there. This top cabinet here, all Waterford. The top 2 shelves, all Waterford. Those lamps, the bowl, everything, and then some carvings down below as well. Daltons in here, Dresdens. Some interesting Daltons too. Some stuff that we don't see all the time. There's a whole selection of the Dickens characters on here. Horses, brasses we don't see too often. Spode. This one's really neat. You'll have to wait till you come to the viewing. This is actually a picture frame, so you'll want to have a look at that. Good antique vintage shakers. Here's another lamp. We saw lamps out there, and I'm not sure if I pointed them out. These are cast iron. There's Royal Crown Derby china. There's some here, and I think there's some on the other side as well. These here in the galleys, there's sort of different shapes and sizes. Sterling silver. These galleys are sterling silver that are around these glasses. So don't discount that. Little miniature helmet, a meerschaum pipe, and a bank. Carriage lanterns, cranberry glass, quality crystal here. Here's some more Crown Derby. Some more crystal, probably some Webb and Corbett and so on. Don't quote me on that. This is a corner mount wall cabinet. Crown Derby again. Royal Dalton, china. This one here, this has got a kingfisher and a toucan. These are all from that time capsule estate, for lack of a better term. And you know, they traveled, so you can imagine them off in whether it's Hawaii or wherever, doing the cool things that you did back in those days when you were of a certain means. Just some people had, you know, a better lifestyle than. I've been watching the show Mad Men lately, and everybody at the shop is pretty much sick and tired of me mentioning it, but some of the furniture out there, like those retro chairs, very Mad Men, and I can just imagine that, you see, if they went on a holiday, because they would go to a nicer resort, they'd have all these fancy feathered things, and there would be luau's and whatever, and it would be fantastic. And copper kettle here. This is out of the time capsule estate as well. I haven't looked online to find anything about it, but this projector, this is not an 8mm projector, this is the larger projector, and this is a 16mm projector, and you would have to have, like, it just oozes quality. You would have to be of means to have this at that time in the travel case and the whole bit, and you'd get to watch all their holiday not videos, but films when they came back from holiday, and you'd be sick and tired of watching it, but you would pretend because everybody's all snotty. Cocoa sets. There's this one here, and I believe there's another one in the sale. In any case, we can't show you everything, even though we almost have, because it's just all great stuff. So let's try to wrap this up, see if I can remember everything again. The viewing is on Friday, October 9th, from 4 o'clock till 8 o'clock. The sale is on Thanksgiving Monday, so that's on the 12th. Doors will open at 9, the sale will start at 10. The address is 11802 145th Street, Edmonton, Alberta. This is 2015, in case this thing's archiving around the cyber for years and years to come. The website, wardsauctions.com. Our office number is 780-451-4549. Online bidding, in-house bidding is what we prefer because we like to see all the people here. So come see us. My name is Brad Ward. My cell phone number is 780-940-8378. Thanks for watching. See you at the sale.